So guys, hope everyone is good. The topic today I am going to clarifying through the discussions. It is a very interesting topic and I hope the students who have already watched the last video of mine could have a clear idea that what is elasticity. But specifically in this video, in this particular lecture, I would like to clarify that how can we calculate the elasticity of demand in different goods. And in this particular video we will going to learn and we will going to understand that how many different kinds of elasticity, how to calculate those elasticity. Specifically, so today's video I am going to focus mainly the topic, it is called the price elasticity of demand. Student, to understand that price elasticity of demand, we first need to understand that demand of any particular goods, one of the main factor of demand, the change of demand of any particular goods, it is price. So we can say price is the most important and consistent factor by which the demand of any particular goods will going to depends upon. Maybe the price will increase, the demand will decrease for in normal cases. And if price decrease, demand will increase. We know that. And assuming that the rest of the conditions remain same, assuming that the rest of the conditions in the economical term is called ceteris paribus, the rest of the condition remain unchanged, the change of price will affect to the change of demand. It is an indirect change of price, it is an indirect relationship between the price and the change of demand. That's what we know. But my friend, one very important questions we need to understand, that is this the change of price, is the delta P, change of price, and the change of demand, the delta Q, is this always equal? If this is always equal, then the questions of elasticity will not arise. There are several reasons. The change of price and the change of quantity are not always equal. If you want to know brief, you have to look at my last video. I talk about it very clearly. That why the change of price and the change of quantity is not completely equal. So many times we can see the change of price, the delta P is greater than delta Q. So many times we can see the delta P, change of price, is less than delta Q. Means in the first condition price will change more and the quantity of demand will change less. In the second condition, price will change less but the quantity of demand will change more. Both we can see in the world of economics for several reasons. This factor of change we can observe to the market, and this discussions is more relevant what are the factors of elasticity. But today I wanted to brief you something different. Look at the screen, guys. So you can see here I have written price elasticity of demand, and it refers to the degree of responsiveness. Why the term responsiveness is there? Because sometimes price is most sensitive to the change of quantity, sometimes price is less sensitive to the change of quantity. That's why the term responsiveness, it is mentioned here. So it is refer to the degree of responsiveness of quantity demanded to the change in price. That is the price elasticity of demand. Now it's a very important question. So how to calculate the price elasticity of demand? It's being very simple calculations. You have to just remember one simple formula. Don't make it complicated. Just in one simple formula you can understand that how to measure the price elasticity of demand. What is the formula? Let me tell you, the formula is being very simple. Divided by delta P into P divided by Q. Okay. The formula is right now in front of you. Delta Q, everybody understand, delta represent change. The change of quantity has been represented by this term delta Q. Delta P, it means change of price, delta P. P by Q. So many times students being little confused. So P by Q, there are two prices given, current price and the previous price. Similarly, current quantity and the previous quantity. So let me talk about P is equal to the original price, and Q is equal to the original quantity. Okay, the original quantity. So here P and Q, we are very clear about the P and Q term. This is the delta Q by delta P divided by P divided by Q. That is the formula of price elasticity of demand. I believe that the formula is completely clear and we can easily solve any question based on that formula. But students, this is one type of questions we have been asked, that sir, to calculate the elasticity of demand we can do this question by this particular formula, but here I just wanted to little entrap you guys. Apart from this particular formula, another type of question arrives, sir, what kinds of elasticity is this? What kinds of elasticity is this? Means what is the types of elasticity? To understand the type of elasticity, let me tell you, there are 5 different types of elasticity we have. 5. Okay, categorically you can see the name in the screen. The first is perfectly elastic, the first is perfectly inelastic, the second is perfectly elastic demand, the third it is unitary elastic. I cannot see that in the screen, but still it is unitary elastic. The fourth, it is relatively less elastic, and the last, it is relatively more elastic. Okay, so let me clear your point. Let me clear your understanding with a particular diagram. You better clear up this particular diagram. This is a composite diagram where I am going to communicate with you, where I am going to talk to you that how do you can derive the exact kind of elasticity, what it is. First of all, the term elastic and inelastic. Let me write it down. Elastic and inelastic. I believe the student who watched my last video, you guys at least understand what is elastic and what is inelastic. Elastic means where the change of price, where the perfectly elastic means, suppose I in this particular video I talk about a girder. Okay, once I put pressure in the 2 point of the girder is completely stretched. Yes, it is elastic. It actually change, it actually expand because it has elasticity. Now coming to the another term, inelastic. Say if I am going to take a iron rod and I am going to put the same pressure in the 2 different point of the iron rod. So I hardly found the iron rod will expand or it will change the size of its. I hardly found. In the same pressure, the pressure I put through the girder, if I am going to place the same quantity of pressure into the iron rod, I would hardly found the size of the iron rod would change. So we can say this is inelastic, my friend. Inelastic means the external pressure, it is hardly effect to this iron rod because it is more hurdle, it's more stiff. The same concept work here. The first condition, it's called elasticity of price. It is represented by the term the value of infinite. Why it is infinite? If you are looking to that, here price is fixed. Price is fixed in this particular point. Follow through this particular curve. Here price is fixed. Look at that. Price is fixed. Even though the price fixed, the quantity of demand will constantly increasing. The quantity of demand is constantly increasing. So guys, now again I am coming back to the formula. According to the formula of elasticity, in the denominator we have to write the delta P. Here delta P is equal to 0. Right or wrong? Here the value of delta P is equal to 0. Why the value of delta P is equal to 0? Everybody understand? The value of delta P is equal to 0 because I already told you that here in this particular condition price is fixed. Price will not change. Price is fixed. That's why delta P in the first condition, delta P is equal to 0. Right? Since something divided by 0, the answer we already know, that is coming infinite. That's why this is called perfectly elastic. Clear? Now coming to the second this particular curve. Look at that. You can see the curve is quite a slight bend. The curve, it is slightly bending towards the origin. It is slightly bending towards the origin. It is little linear, but not perfectly linear. Why? If you are looking to the change of price according to this particular curve, you can see the price change. The change of price the change of price, look at that, the change of price is in proportions. It is not a huge change of price, a limited change of price is there. We can see means delta P, yes, observable, the price has changed, but in compare with this, if you are looking to the change of quantity in the other axis, you can see there is a huge change of quantity, huge, in compare with the change of price, so I can say again, coming to this particular formula, so I can say delta Q is greater than delta P, means the change of price is comparatively lesser than the change of quantity. Yes or no? Change of quantity is more. Look at that. Change of quantity is more. In compare with the change of price is limited. So we can say here the quantity changes more, but the price changes less. Mostly in the luxury goods we can find it. Just think about the luxury goods. थोड़ा सा price का परिवर्तन. A limited change of price will also affect a quantity change of demand. We can observe that. We can understand it. So the limited change of price, since it affect to the quantum change of demand, here the delta Q always greater than delta P. That's why, as per the result, the answer is coming. The elasticity of price is always greater than 1. This is called relatively elastic. Okay, this term is called relatively elastic. Hope everybody understand. This is what is called relatively elastic. Okay, so guys, the first two point, perfectly elastic and relatively elastic, is clear, completely clear. Now coming to the next point, unit elastic. This is called unit elastic. Here the value of elasticity is equal to 1. Why? Because if you are looking to the curve, the change of price, two different point, and the change of demand in this two particular point, you can see that change of price and the change of quantity represent equal. Means here the delta P is equal to delta Q. This is the only demand curve. The demand curve we actually imagine about the design and drawn of Marshallian concept. But this is a little hypothetical concept. Practically we can see in the market this situation is hardly exist. The change of price and the change of quantity are hardly is equal. Means how many of you observe that? I don't know, but it is hardly for me. The change of price and the change of quantity is not always equal. It's not always equal. But if it is equal, then the elasticity value will be 1. Okay. And the next point, this is called relatively inelastic. Why it is inelastic? Inelastic, you bol raha hai isko. Why it is inelastic? It is relatively inelastic because you can see the elasticity of price is less than 1. Look at the curve, you can understand. Here in this particular curve, let me take two different points. You can see the change of price in compared to that last, the change of price and again the change of quantity. If you are comparing well, the change of price is greater than the change of quantity. It means even if there is a huge change of price, the change of quantity is being very limited. Means it is a very crucial goods for people, for human being. The demand will not huge and utterly huge change even there is a huge change of price. The demand of this particular goods is not heavily changed. So we can say here we can say that delta Q is lesser than delta P. And if the delta Q is lesser than delta P, now look at the formula. Think about the formula. The value should be always less than 1. That is what is called relatively inelastic. And I believe students, you guys already understand the last particular curve. The last curve is very clear to you, all of you. I believe so. Here the EP is equal to 0. That means it is perfectly inelastic, my friend. Inelastic. Why it is perfectly inelastic? Let me tell you guys, it is perfectly inelastic because we can observe in this particular video, in this particular curve, that here the price change only occur, but look at the demand is fixed in this particular point. Delta Q is equal to 0. Delta Q is equal to 0. Delta Q means there is no change of demand even if there is a change of price. So we can say this is particularly, we can say that it is perfectly inelastic. Now look at this particular curve. You can understand why the discussion, why there are different curves I am going to present you by this particular composite diagram. Hope you understand this. Hope this is very clear to all of you. Okay. If you guys really understand this particular topic, if you guys really understand that how different types of elasticity are there, exist in the market, then please share the video, because I want a majority of students will learn the process of elasticity, because there are a lot of students, there is still a confusions. That's the elasticity. How many types of elasticity are there? How to calculate the elasticity? In the next video, we will jump to the direct numerical questions of elasticity. Even in the next video, I will teach you how different way we can calculate the elasticity of demand. In the next video also, I will going to show you that how to the percentage change of quantity will affect to the percentage change of price will affect to the percentage change of quantity persistently. So to observe, to understand, please continue watching these videos, and also like, share and subscribe. Your support is always give me more enthusiasms to doing this kind of video. Thank you everyone, thank you very much. So friends, if you really like this kind of video, then please appreciate your like, share and subscribe is always give me motivation to do this kind of video. Your appreciation always help me to move one step ahead. I am always happy to serve you. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.